Have you ever been so excited to get booked on a podcast only to be faced with a form that took you 15 to 20 minutes to complete, asking you all the questions like, why do you want to be a guest on this podcast? Things that you feel are a little redundant. Well, in this episode, I'm going to share with you our system for handling forms that makes it really easy and time efficient because as a mama of 2 young kids, Mama don't have time to do all those forms. And I'm going to share with you how we do it. And if you want the exact list of the 50 podcast questions on forms that we have curated for our clients after nearly 1,000 interviews, both from myself and our clients combined, then definitely sign up for our Do Your Deliverables workshop where we are giving away this list, and we will not only be doing the list, but we will be working this exact process that I share with you in this podcast. Welcome to the Communication Queens podcast for the visionary leaders, speakers, service providers, and podcasters who are looking to stand out sharing their story. I'm your host, Kimberly Spencer, former screenwriter turned master communications coach. On this podcast, I'll be coaching you on how to share your own transformation story so that you increase your visibility, influence, and income on podcast interviews. Let's get your voice heard. Hello and welcome back to the Communication Queen podcast. I am Kimberly Spencer, your host and founder of the Communication Queens agency, where we specialize in getting the visionaries, leaders, entrepreneurs, and visionaries of the world booked on the right podcasts that build their brand awareness and their bottom line. And in this episode, I am going to share with you, oh my gosh. So one of the things I was so happy to get off my plate was these freaking podcast forms. Like I am all about systematizing. And so I'm going to tell you a story. We were stuck in Australia and it was 2020 and we were starting podcast guesting as a strategy for generating clients because I was over in Australia. And prior to that, my main form of lead generation for my clients was live events. And yeah, those weren't happening, nor could I do those with my visa being stuck in Australia. So thanks, COVID. So when we started guest podcasting, because I had remembered a podcast interview that I had done that had resulted in a $10,000 coaching contract, I said, let's double down on podcasting. And I said, let's start with the goal of reaching out to 50 podcasts per week. We then amped it up to 100. And whew, did I learn fast. We were learning really fast. And what I learned was there's a lot of freaking forms that come in with getting booked on podcasts. And more so now, like in the past 4 years, the amount of people having forms has amplified because podcasters are getting more savvy as to who they want on as guests. So especially if you're booking like we do as an agency, we only book our clients on the top 5% of podcasts. And pretty much all of those will have some form of form. At the very bare minimum, it's a legal disclaimer saying that we can, that for media releases and deliverables. So the form can get annoying because a lot of the questions get redundant. And one of the things as a Virgo I am skilled at and really hate, and one of the things that I am skilled at, and one of the things that as a Virgo I really hate is an inefficient system. Oof, that is something that drives me up a wall. When I see inefficiency and I am just able to kind of source it out, I'm like, this is not working. We need to systematize and make something that's working. So this is even so like when we moved to Texas, I got all of my family on a digital calendar. Like my mom had not been using a digital calendar up until like 2023 when I got her a buyout for her business. So I said, we're getting you on a digital calendar. And so we got everybody on a digital calendar and now suddenly there was more efficiency. People could see. And because I hated answering the question 20 times a day, what are we doing today? What's the schedule like? What's your schedule like? Because my schedule changes. I have appointments, I have coaching clients, I have podcasting clients, I have interviews, I have sales calls. So there's like a whole bunch of different things. And so I got tired of people asking me what is on for the schedule for the day. And so I just created a system. The same is true with podcast guesting forms. So after a while, I started to notice that these podcast guesting forms, they are redundant for the most part. There are a lot of questions. They're very simple. It's like, why do you want to be on this podcast? What is the big thing that you're most proud of? Or like, what is your big achievement? Or what is it that you want to talk about? What questions can we ask? And so I started to notice all of these commonalities with all of the forms and all of the questions and all of the things. And so when we onboard our clients, they have a very detailed form that they complete so that they complete one form, one time, and then we're able to fill out the forms on their behalf. Whew, saves them so much time. Like, I don't want to put my clients who are very busy, visionary leaders, they're leading multi-million-dollar companies. Like, I don't want to put them and have them like, oh, they're going to spend 15 to 20 minutes filling out a podcast form. No, thank you. No, we do that for them. So if you don't have us doing that for you, which you can have us do that for you if you want to get on our roster and book a 100K profit from guest podcasting call, click the link below. You can jump on it if you think that a done-for-you agency is a right fit for you. And whether it is or whether it isn't, I encourage you to get a form process in place. So what I do and what I would recommend you do, first and foremost, is you get the list, you put down all the answers, you really go through, you be very diligent with your answers, you do all the answers, and then any podcast that comes through, you refer back to that document. Save it to your Google Drive, save it to your Dropbox, wherever it is that you keep your documents, save it to your Trello, your Asana, your Monday, whatever is your project management software. But have it readily available so that whenever you get booked on a podcast, you just refer to that form and you copy and paste instead of filling out all the forms yourself all the time. That's what gets really taxing and tiring, is when you're doing the same repetitive tasks. So one of my mentors, James Wedmore, always says on his podcast and in his courses, it's like, you either need a process or you need people. So in this episode, I'm going to share with you how you can do both. One, you get the form and you have that process. And so then you have a copy and paste process that is repeatable, easy, scalable, right? Then you get a person on it too. So you can either work with us at the Communication Queens agency. We do all that for our clients at a higher level. If you're making over $250K a year, I highly recommend that. If you are not, then hire a VA to do this for you so that when you get booked on a podcast, when you have somebody of interest who's like, oh, I want to know more about you or I want to get you booked, have them fill out the form based on your answers. So let them complete that form for you because they just copy and paste it. Even the copy and pasting, it saves you like 15 minutes. But if you're looking to get booked on 2, 3, 4 podcasts a month, that over time adds up to an hour, a couple hours, multiple hours that you could be using for higher leverage activities in your business. So I highly recommend, first, put in the process, complete the form. Second, hire a person, a VA, virtual assistant. And if you need support in hiring a virtual assistant, I will also put the link below for our Crown Yourself course with my coaching company to build your Dream Queen team. It is everything you need to build an outsourced team, from hiring, training, leading, managing, and letting go of team members that are outsourced for your company to support you. So virtual assistants, social media managers, etc. Whomever you need to support you in your business, this course will support you in having those tools. So you can click the link below to grab that course as well. Definitely though, first start the process of having the forms and then hire the person. If you need support in hiring the person, Build Your Dream Queen masterclass and workshop is the one for you. And this is how, because this is how you buy back your time. This is how you scale your business. Is you start looking at the tasks and the smaller activities that you're doing, especially in the terms of podcast guesting. There are so many repeatable tasks that you can just outsource or delegate or automate or processify, is one of my favorite words as a Virgo. Processify, so that you're not doing those same tasks over and over and over again. You should not be doing those same tasks, not at your level, not as the visionary, not as the leader who's beating the drum for the impact and the vision of what it is that you're creating in this world. You have people to support you in doing that. That is how a queen rolls. That is how we roll. Go forth and conquer. And just a reminder, our Do Your Deliverables workshop is happening this Friday. So if you want the exact list of over 50 questions that we have curated from nearly 1,000 podcast interviews from between myself and all of our clients, then definitely head on over and click the button to join the Do Your Deliverables with Me workshop. In this workshop, we will be building your bio, your one sheet, your media page, And yes, filling out your podcast form fills so that you only have to fill it out once, and then all you need is the person to put in place so that they can do it for you on repeat. This masterclass is available live this Friday, and the replay will be available for life if you are not able to attend live. You also get lifetime access to the entire training and workshop, and you will have your bio, your one sheet, your signature story pitch, and your podcast form fills all complete by the end of this workshop, as well as your media page framework and a list of 100 podcast emails that you can start pitching to right after this masterclass. Thank you so much for listening. If you love this episode, subscribe, leave us a review, and share it with your friends. For more tips on guest podcasting, storytelling, and communication strategies, follow us on social media at Communication Queens Agency and visit us at communicationqueens.com. I look forward to seeing you in the next episode. And in the meantime, remember, your story has the power to save one life. Let your story and your voice be heard. This is not a workshop to be missed. As you know, with my workshops and masterclasses, we bring the fun into work. It really should be called a fun shop. So join us for the workshop. We're going to have a great time this Friday. I look forward to seeing you there. And until then, remember to stand out and be heard.